Hi, I hope you're doing well. So I'm going to talk to you about my most favorite easy reader. You could technically define this as an early chapter book. I mean, it is full of text. It does have the illustrations. It would certainly be a high level easy reader if you wanted to categorize it like that. But on the inside cover, it does regard this book as a new chapter book series. So I love this book so much. I was so drawn to it. But I have to give credit to Betsy Bird, who is the owner of the blog A Fuse 8 Productions through the School Library Journal. So I have found such great kids lit recommendations from her blog, and everything that she reviews and gives a positive review for, I just end up loving. I add it to my reading log. I'm just so passionate about the books that she recommends. She has phenomenal taste, and she's definitely been very formative for me in my experience as an aspiring children's librarian, but I'm really appreciative of what she does. So I am constantly scrolling through her account and blog for new recommendations and stuff that I should put on hold immediately. So I found an interesting review. So she said at the start of this review that out of the 365 days a year, she only reviews about 45 books during those 365 days. So she reads so much material, but she can only review so much. So it's a very difficult decision to choose which books you want to review and which books maybe aren't necessary to review. So I don't know how I would manage being tasked with that kind of pressure, especially because I usually have very passionate sentiments about the books that I read, and I get a little attached, and I can see the exhaustion that would come from feeling pressure to review every book that you read and every book that slightly makes you feel good. But she said that one of the biggest motivations for her in reviewing a book is spite. So I was scrolling through her account and I found this review of this book, Bear and Bird, The Picnic and Other Stories. And the reason that she decided to review this book was because this book was receiving kind of mixed controversial reviews from some of the big review places, like Kirkus Reviews, for example, said that this book was mean-spirited and it promotes dishonesty and it isn't really teaching the right lessons to kids, yada yada yada. So Betsy Bird strongly disagreed with that, and so she was she was prompted to review this book and kind of defend it and say that you're kind of missing the entire point of the book. She also said that she wanted to compare this book to a classic and that it reminds her of a very popular easy reader. I personally see the comparison to Frog and Toad. After opening this book immediately, you can kind of sense that if you're a fan of Frog and Toad, it's probably going to become one of your favorites. And I think that's a very good compliment to this book. So I'm going to read one story of this book, and I am going to choose to read the last story. And I'm not spoiling anything. This is a story of friendship. It's a story of kindness and what you do for your friends and the things that you do. And I'm so confused by the negative reviews that this book is receiving because I just love it so much, and I really think that it's the kind of book that kids should be reading, especially at this kind of reading level. So without further ado, I am going to read the last story of this book, The Blanket. Also, I obviously love this book. I recommend putting The Picnic and Other Stories, The Adventure and Other Stories, and The Stars and Other Stories of the Bear and Bird series on hold if your library system has it. If you work at a library and your library system doesn't carry it, maybe you should consider investing in it and ordering these titles. I do not think you will regret it. And in my library system, a lot of these titles are checked out. So the kids are clearly responding positively to this book, as maybe not as positively as I am. Maybe they aren't as passionate about these books as I am, but I love them, and I'm sure you will too. So now, without further ado, I will read The Blanket. So, The Blanket. Bear was at home, snugly and warm under his blanket. "This blanket is so warm and fluffy," said Bear. "It's absolutely perfect. I do not want to move. Nothing will make me move. Literally nothing." Ding dong! "Hi, Bear," said Bird. "Are you coming out to watch the sunset?" I would, said Bear, but I'm actually really busy. Something quite important has come up, something that needs my attention. Bird thought this was very odd. Bear loved to watch the sunset. I guess I'll go and watch the sunset on my own, said Bird. Bear shut the door and jumped back under the blanket. Oh, yes, that's the good stuff, said Bear. It's fluffy, fluffy time. I am so relaxed. I can't think of anything better than ding dong. Hi, Bear, said Bird. For some reason, watching the sunset wasn't very fun on my own. I wondered if you wanted to go and get some apple crumble from Badger's stall. Bear's belly was very grumbly and rumbly. You know what, said Bear. I'm not hungry. Grumbly rumbly. You sound hungry, said Bird. No, said Bear. Grumbly rumbly. Not me. Grumbly rumbly. That sounds just thunder, I think. Probably a storm. Okay, said Bird, looking up at the clear night sky. Bird thought this was all very odd. Bear never said no to Crumble. Sometimes he would even have two. Perhaps he was sick. She decided to bring him back some minty tea. That always made her feel better. Bear shut the door, and out came the blanket. Oh, what a blanket you are, said Bear. I just want to hug you and smush you, and I'm going to call you Susie. My smushy, soft Susie Woozy. Bird came back from Badger's with the minty tea. She was just about to ring the ding-dong when she overheard Bear talking. Susie Woozy? Who's Susie Woozy? Thought Bird. Bird's beak went all sniffy. Bird's eyes went all blinky. She felt a lot like crying. Instead, she took a big breath and ding-dong. So you've got a new friend named Susie Woozy, said Bird. And you don't want to be with me. And I don't know why, and I don't like watching the sunset on my own, or eating crumble on my own, and I thought we were best friends, and now I'm sad, and I brought you some minty tea, and well, what do you say about all that? Oh, Bird, I am sorry, said Bear. Excuse me, sorry. Oh, Bird, I am sorry, said Bear. You are my best friend. Please don't be upset with me. I know just how to make you feel better. Come inside. Bear whipped out the blanket and tucked Bird in tight. Ooh, this is unbelievable, said Bird. So warm and soft. Bear, I think there's probably room for two. And so Bear and Bird snuggled up in the blanket called Susie. They laughed about the talking flower and the picnic that never was and Bird's beautiful painting. Oh, Bird, said Bear, I don't never want to get out from underneath this. Hello, Bear and Bird. How about a game of moonbugs? Said Pig. Oh, thank you, but we're busy, I'm afraid, said Bear. Yes, said Bird. Something's come up, something important, urgent, in fact. Maybe tomorrow. It was blanket time. So that was the story, The Blanket. I honestly do not even think that this is the best story of the book. I think that all of these stories you will appreciate so much more if you read them together. It is so great, and I just love it so much. I don't know. I will defend this book to my grave. Disagree immensely with Kirkus Review's assessment of this book. Agree highly with Betsy Bird's assessment of this book. Please go pick it up. I love it, and I am hoping that our library system will soon carry these books because it was fantastic. So this was Bear and Bird, The Picnic and Other Stories by Jarvis. Have a good night.